Let's talk backpacks, packing cubes, and how to save some money when you travel. Hello, hi. Sorry, it's been a minute. I posted my first two videos and then I had a whole bunch of things going on and I said, I really need to get back to this. So this is me getting back to it. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're having a good week. I am back today talking about a topic that is surprisingly near and dear to my heart, and that would be packing in a backpack to save you some money when you're flying. The amount of times I've flown with just my backpack is a lot. I've done it a lot. I refuse to pay for a carry-on, let alone a checked bag, especially when I'm going somewhere for only a few days. You don't need that. Trust me, I honestly could probably pack in a backpack for probably 90% of my vacations if I really wanted to. Maybe you've thought about it before. You're thinking, wow, I don't want to pay $35 for a carry-on bag. I'm only going to somewhere for a few days. I don't need that much. Well, maybe this video will help you out a little bit. So today I'm going to walk you through how to pack a backpack. We're going to go through two different types of backpacks that I have, along with the different types of packing cubes and the tips I use to save space in my bags. Also, sorry about the location change. I'm currently dog sitting for my boyfriend's parents, and I figured I would rather get a video up than wait till I get back to my apartment, so we are going to be filming it here. All right, let me introduce you to my backpacks that we'll be testing today. The first one is my eBags bag. It is pretty big compared to a typical size backpack, but I have measured it. It does technically fit the personal size requirements, but this has been a really great bag for a lot of my trips. I will show you a bit more, but it does open like a clamshell. There is a ton of storage in this bag. I've used it for countless trips. I bought this for $60. Unfortunately, I think this type of bag is discontinued now, but there are a ton of bags similar to it that you can get that do fit the personal size requirements and have a lot of storage that open like the clamshell. I really suggest that you get a clamshell open bag if you are going to be doing a lot of traveling in a backpack. It just really makes it a lot easier. And the second backpack I'm going to be testing is my old handy dandy regular backpack. I've had this since I think 2020, 2021. This has gone to Portland. It's gone to Mexico. It has gone on so many trips, and this is all I brought. I one time even attached a skateboard to it. So I had like all of my clothes in here, my laptop, and a skateboard, and it counted as a personal item. So honestly, it might not look like much, but this backpack can do a lot. The storage is not great in here. It is pretty small compared to what, the different pockets you're going to get in my e-bag or any other bags. But I really liked how this one fit a lot of my stuff and how I was able to pack it and it stayed compact. Okay, let's dive into my two backpacks and let me show you what we are packing today inside all of these. So for today, let me go over what we're going to try to pack into these backpacks. I have a pair of pants, athletic shorts, a skirt, 2 tank tops, 4 t-shirts, socks, and underwear. Now, this might totally change depending on which trip you're going on. If you are going skiing, this might not work unless you have a friend who is loaning you all of their warm weather stuff. Honestly, packing in a backpack works really well if you are going somewhere warm, tropical. I honestly could probably pack for like 2 weeks in Mexico in a backpack. There are a lot of different packing cubes out there on the market nowadays. You can find them pretty much anywhere. You can find them probably at Walmart, but I know you can get them at TJ Maxx, Target, everywhere that sells them nowadays. And I think they're really an awesome tool. It really changed how I packed things. So I have 2 different types of cubes that I use. I do have my newer set of compression cubes, which I have a whole bunch of different sizes for and are really great for different aspects of my trips. It depends where I'm going. I do like those, but I have also in the past used these as well. These are really heavy duty. I love these. Okay, so let's start off with my compression packing cubes first. And let me show you how I pack these, because even packing these really can make a difference in how much you can fit in your bag and in your cubes. First off, I always start off with the biggest and bulkiest item on the bottom. That might be a sweatshirt. I do recommend trying to wear a sweatshirt on the plane if you can, instead of trying to pack it in your bag. But usually that will also then include my jeans. So I'll put my jeans on first. And then I will fold the jeans or whatever shirts, shorts, whatever I'm packing to fit the dimensions of the bag itself. I don't roll my clothes. My boyfriend's a big roller, but I am not. I believe if I'm using my packing cubes, I'm going to try to fit it to the exact dimension of the actual cube I'm trying to fit it in. So with my packing cube now, I have everything in there. It is sized accordingly. The only thing not in here are my socks and underwear, and I'll show you why in a minute. To compress your compression cubes, you just zip up the sides and it compresses, like the name states, down the cube a little bit. So before we had a big mass of, a cube and you thought, how would that fit my backpack? We got this now. I could honestly have probably fit a few more clothes in here. Truthfully, I really could have. It zipped up really easily compared to sometimes when I use my cubes. So I could even probably throw in maybe even another pair of pants, or I could probably have fit in another shirt or two, maybe even a dress. You would like to wear a few key items on the plane to help you with your packing when you are packing in a backpack. The first is you're going to bring 1 to 2 pairs of shoes the entire trip, depending on where you're going. If you are going somewhere warm, like, Florida or Mexico or a beach vacation, you can definitely sneak a pair of sandals or flip-flops in your bag. That is no issue. They're so small. It's so easy. I recommend just shoving them on the bottom or sticking in where they might fit. I usually, if I'm traveling in a backpack, limit myself to 1 pair of shoes I will wear for probably the entire trip. When I went to Portland, I wore my 1 pair of shoes, which were I think my Doc Martens, maybe not, or some type of boots on the plane, and that is what I wore. Whatever I wore on the plane is what I wore the entire trip. The second thing I recommend always wearing on the plane is a sweatshirt. I have said multiple times now, do not try to pack your sweatshirts, just wear it on the plane. It is a lot comfier. Planes are often cold. You can always take it off and use it as a pillow or a blanket if you need to. Just wear it on the plane. It's a lot easier. It will save you a ton of space. If you are going somewhere a little bit chillier and you are going to bring a jacket, wear that on the plane as well. Really hard to shove that in your bag. When I went to Portland, I had a jean jacket. It's like a thicker jacket. I wore that on the plane and then I just took it off when I got too warm. Think about your bulkiest items and try to wear that. If you do want a second pair of pants, for example, pack one and wear the other pair. Or, pack your leggings, which might be easier to pack because they're thinner, and wear jeans on the plane so you have more space in your bag. All right, now that we have our cube packed, let's see how it fits into our backpacks. We have a lot of room to fit a lot of other items in the black backpack so far. So looking at my black backpack, I could easily still fit my laptop in here, my laptop charger if I'm going to be needing it on a trip. I could probably fit another pair of thinner shoes if I really wanted to, if I wasn't bringing my laptop. It still would fit my toiletry bag, no problem, and I still could keep myself some room for souvenirs as well. Please ignore the outfit change and sudden appearance of a dog. I spilled coffee all over myself and she wanted to help. So when I travel, I try to keep my toiletries at a pretty bare minimum amount. All of my face wash, sunscreens, toothbrushes, toothpaste, I all fit in this little bag here. It's not very big, so I can't fit a lot. And that is perfect for keeping me from bringing too much. The next is my makeup bag, which I try to keep pretty small and compact as well. I don't bring too much, and I definitely downsize before I go on a trip. I will just try to bring the bare minimum with me on a trip. In my black bag, I was able to sneak my makeup bag directly next to my compression cube, and then I just put my toiletry bags down towards the bottom. My pro tip though, if you do not have TSA pre-check, put any toiletries and liquids to the top of your bag if you can. It'll make it a lot easier when you're going through security to pull them out. It's different from when you check a bag where you don't have to take that out. When you're just putting it in your backpack or a carry-on, you will have to usually take it out depending on the airport, depending on the day. And it's just a pro tip so you're not digging in your bag, screwing up all of the wonderful packing you did. Before I had TSA pre-check, I honestly would just keep my toiletries and makeup bag right at the top, pluck both of them out, throw them on the tray, and you were good to go. I have a pretty small curling iron. I found this is really easy to just slip into the sides wherever you have room. You don't have to make a special space for it. It's just a simple, easy tool to bring with me that I don't feel like I am, compromising space for the enjoyment of my trip. So for years, I have worked remote and I traveled with my laptop. Unfortunately, that meant I traveled with my gaming laptop that I bought, which was huge. I probably ended up paying over $300 in gate fees for my bags being too big because of that laptop specifically, when I should have just gotten a smaller travel laptop the entire time. I finally bit the bullet and bought this one for about $200 a couple months ago, and it is a lot thinner than my gaming laptop by a long shot. The charger is also smaller. So if you can, try to bring the smallest amount of tech with you as possible. Tech takes up a lot of space. Bringing a smaller laptop over a bigger laptop is honestly your best move. I'm guessing most people aren't bringing gaming laptops with them on vacation. Unfortunately, I was, because I was usually working on these trips. I also have a tech organizer for all of my chargers. In the past, what I've done is I would slip my chargers into front pockets and organize them like that. You can totally do that. I now like to have my tech organizer to know where they all are because I am messy and I will lose everything. So for me, I just keep all of my chargers in one place. Same with my headphones as I go places. That way it's also easier to grab right out while you're on the plane and you're not disrupting your entire bag. There are a ton of tech organizers you can find online. They're really great. I honestly recommend those, and packing cubes is my two best tools for traveling. If you're interested in another video about my favorite travel products and what I use to stay organized on my trips, let me know. I'm very excited. I can even go more into depth on the bags I use and what I've found has worked the best. I have a number of different carry-ons I've used over the years, and I would love to talk about what I love and don't like about them. So when I bring my laptop with me, I just put the laptop in the laptop sleeve and keep it in there as safe as possible. The charger, I usually will just slip into the side or find a designated spot for it that it's out of the way. I usually don't use my laptop on the plane, but if you do, make sure it's, easily accessible and you're not disrupting your entire bag just to grab it out. All right, you might be saying, okay, that sounds good. Didn't you say you were packing socks and underwear? I did say that earlier. When it comes to socks and underwear, I have 3 different methods of how I will pack them. The first is I will throw them in the packing cube with the rest of the clothes. If I clearly have space, it's really easy just to slip those in, have all your clothes all together in one packing cube. The second, they have their own designated packing cube. I often will use a more mushy one, so not my compression cubes, to pack socks and underwear, so I can really shove that into a crevice in my bag if I have to. That way it's all together. I also will use it then as like a dirty laundry bag. And as my clothes get dirty on the trip, I'll just shove all of that into that packing cube as well. And the third, and what I call my most desperate tool for packing socks and underwear, is to put them where they fit. Sometimes your bag is just full and you need to find things to shove in places. Socks and underwear are very easy to just shove into little crevices in your bag. If you are bringing an extra pair of shoes that you have in your bag, shove your socks and underwear in there. It sounds kind of gross, but it will save you space in the long run. Shove them in front pockets. Shove them in with your laptop. Honestly, finding homes for your socks and underwear, really easy. If you are wearing a bra, sometimes I recommend just bringing one bra that you wear on the plane despite it being uncomfortable, or finding a way to kind of work that into your packing. When I have brought bras in the past, I will usually keep it like towards the top so it doesn't get smushed. Honestly, I will just try to bring one bra if you can. If you have to bring more than one, try to pack it towards the top so it doesn't get smushed. And you can often use your socks and underwear to kind of pad it up so it doesn't get misshapen while you are traveling. Now, you might have a few other things you are bringing with you on your trip, and that is totally cool. Like I said, I often bring a book as well. I will carry that on. Same with the water bottle. Travel pillows I often will stick around my neck so I don't have to worry about just putting them in my bag. So now that we established kind of what we're bringing, let's talk about exactly how the bags will look with everything put together. And we'll go through how much space I have, what are my thoughts, etc. in just a moment. All right, let's start off with my plain regular backpack right away. When I first look at the backpack, I still have a lot of space at the top. That'll be perfect for if I have any little souvenirs I'm bringing back or if I have any last minute items I need to put away. I would probably, in this front pocket here, put my wallet, my phone charger, my Apple Watch charger, stuff like that, and my headphones. Overall, if I got to the gate with this backpack filled exactly how it is, I would not be really worried about the gate agent stopping me to check the size. I would feel pretty good, and I get on. Weight-wise, it's a little heavy, but there is no restriction on weight when you bring just a backpack on the plane. So I feel pretty good about this. These straps, I will say, have been really nice. I've never really had issues dragging this around in all the years I traveled with it. I have moved away from using this backpack in recent years, and I'm kind of regretting it. I'm happy I've kept it because I really did end up liking how I traveled with it. It's nothing's fancy. It's just a regular backpack. If there's a backpack that you really like that's in good condition, use it. You honestly will probably be able to fill a lot in it. Like, you don't need a special backpack like my Go backpack. Seriously, like, you don't. You can just pack with this, and honestly, it might be easier, especially if you're just going on a weekend trip. I have packed in smaller backpacks than this. All right, let's talk about my e-bag now and how this one looks. So this one, looks overall bulkier and it's a bigger bag as it is. But there are a few cool things about this bag that I really do enjoy. There are these straps on the side that I can compress it down even more. So when you get to the gate, you can really make it look a lot thinner than it might actually look. So whenever you have these compression straps in a bag, use them to your advantage. You really can get, your stuff looking pretty flat in there. Next, I do have a lot more room. Again, bigger bag, so makes sense that there's no more room. I didn't use the other half of the shell. I have almost all of the pockets in the front open. I can use that for my tech. I can use that for my book. 1,000 different things I might want to pack. Souvenirs as I come home. But I will say this bag has been a problem for me in the past. Mostly in terms of my giant laptop I used to bring. It's thick. It's a thick boy. And really, like I said, I've paid probably close to $300 just in bag fees at the gate because of that laptop. This does have my smaller laptop in here. It's a lot thinner, a lot better for traveling. That being said, this bag is great. I have loved traveling with this bag over the years. It is one of my favorites. I really like this one for longer trips. My little black backpack is really good for a shorter weekend trip, couple day trip. I can fit a whole vacation in my green Ego bag. It is so easy. I have friends who have the same bag, have said the same thing. I really enjoy packing in it. Again, this one is going to cut it close though on the personal item size. You will have to resize it at almost every gate if you're flying Spirit or Frontier, just as a heads up. Just make sure it fits in the sizer. They often have sizers where you check luggage in. You can go to the airport and try that days before your trip if you want. I've done that before. I've literally walked in. There's a sizer right by the check-in desks at, where you drop off your luggage. And I have gone in and checked my bag before I've gone just to make sure it fits. If you live near the airport, do it. You can also find the size requirements online. Really easy to just measure it, make sure it fits. I will say if I'm in a really big budget crunch when I'm traveling and I'm really nervous about having to pay for my bag, I will just opt for the backpack. I would rather be safe than sorry and bring less and, have a smaller bag than to have to fork over the $100 at the gate. And that's how much it costs on Frontier. $100 at the gate is what you have to drop if this bag does not fit in the sizer. Make sure you're not going to have this hidden fee on your trip just because you decided to pack an extra pair of shoes or an extra pair of pants. Really take into account what you actually need to bring and what you don't need to bring. I have traveled with a ton of different types of backpack. There's a ton of pros and cons to them. Again, you can't bring as much, but you honestly save a lot of money. $35 for a checked bag is a lot. $65 for a carry-on is even more. That could be part of your hotel room for the night. That could lend you an extra dinner. That can be drinks with your friends, and that could be money that you put into your savings account for your next trip as well. Think about every vacation in terms of money as what the money could be going to instead. I can do a whole bunch of stuff with an extra $40. If you truly need a bag, do factor that into your budget. I am going to Mexico this year for my little brother's wedding, and I can't pack it all in a backpack as much as I would love to. I'm gonna have a dress and I'm gonna bring things down for them. I'm going to need to check a bag. But one part that me and my boyfriend are talking about is we are going to share part of my luggage. Instead of bringing 2 suitcases, we're going to share half of mine. I'm going to use the other half, for whatever. And then we'll also use my bag as a souvenir bag. Think about your baggage strategically. Think about what you actually need to bring, what is reasonable for you to bring. Don't screw yourself over on the trip. If you are going somewhere cold and you say, I only need to pack X, Y, and Z, and now you're freezing and now you have to spend money on the trip because you're cold, you're not saving money that way. Honestly, think about what you're gonna need. Create packing lists. Be realistic with your expectations. If you do need to work over an extra $35, an extra $40, $50, put that in your budget and make sure you are planning for it. If you do have to bring a carry-on bag or a checked bag, make the most of it. You bring back your souvenirs, bring something for a friend that you are visiting, do something with that extra space if you can. I one time had to bring a checked bag to Mexico and I totally did not need to. I ended up bringing just a carry-on size bag that I checked. And I ended up being the person that brought all the souvenirs home for my family. You don't need 6 pairs of shoes on vacation. I'm sorry, it's true. You don't. You need maybe 1 to 3 pairs of shoes max. You don't need to bring your entire makeup bag unless, again, you're going on a destination wedding. I sure as hell am gonna bring my entire makeup bag on that trip. Oh, another factor is you don't have to wait for your check bag. If you were trying to be in a rush somewhere, you can just get off the plane, grab your stuff and go. Bringing just a backpack is really easy. It makes traveling a lot simpler, a lot quicker. I hope this helps you out in some ways. I hope this saves you a little bit of money. I hope you think about maybe just bringing a backpack on your next trip. If you have been thinking about it and saying, I can't downsize packing, really honestly take a look at what you are bringing. We can always talk more in depth in a different video about how to pack certain clothes and what I would bring and how to be reasonable about it. I hope this helps. I hope you all save a ton of money on your upcoming travels. I have a few more videos I'm working on coming out soon. You might see this backdrop and a few more of them as I'm going to be here for a few more days. But I'm really excited. I have some fun videos coming up, including more about going cross country, more about packing, and a few about being a local tourist finally. So I hope that all interests you and I can see you all soon. I just want to say thank you for whoever has subscribed and liked and watched my videos so far. I didn't think anyone would. And I have a very small amount of you that are really excited about this and really excited about this project and supporting me, and can't say thank you enough for the friends and family and strangers on the internet who care. So I hope you have a good week. I'll see you next time. This is something. Hi. You want to be a part of things? Goodbye. The mail person just showed up and heard me say all this, and now I feel embarrassed. But it's okay, because I think they're ignoring me, and I feel really weird now because I'm just standing right in front of the window.